Okay, welcome to this quiz preview. So make sure that you are paying close attention in order for you to be able to do well on your quiz, as these problems are very similar to the problems that you're going to see on the quiz. All right, so let us read the question first. The Reseda Charter High School football team scored a total of 50 points in one game. Right? So a total of 50 points in one game. So this is points. So let's look for where else it says points. They scored 14 times. Now, even though this is an important number, right, it's not points. We're looking for something related to points. The scoring was made of touchdowns, made up of touchdowns, 6 points each. Okay? Touchdowns are 6 points each. PATs are 1 point each, and field goals are 3 points each. Okay? They had 3 more touchdowns than field goals. How many of each type of score did they have? So first, let's deal with what we have. We're talking about points, right? So they total scored of 50 points. Touchdowns are worth 6 points, right? So we can say 6T. Make this a little thinner. So we can say 6T plus, okay, point after touchdowns are 1 point each. So we can say 1P or just P, point after, plus field goals are 3 points each. So we can say 3F. And they scored a total of 50 points, like it said right here, right? So this one says they scored 14 times. Well, what did they score? Well, they scored touchdowns, and they scored point after touchdowns, and they scored field goals for a total of 14 times that they scored. Right? Okay. Next, we need a third equation, right? Because this is a system of 3 equations, so we need the third one. It said they had 3 more touchdowns than field goals. So what did they have more of, right? They had 3 more touchdowns than field goals. So they had more touchdowns. So touchdowns is equal to field goals. They had 3 more. So it's plus 3. Okay? So if we noticed here, this t is already by itself. So what I'm going to do is everywhere that I see t on these top 2 equations, I'm going to plug in f plus 3 because t is equal to f plus 3. So in step 1, okay, in step 1, I'm going to copy my first equation, but like we said, wherever we see t, right, in our first equation, we're going to replace with f plus 3. We're going to substitute. So 6 parentheses, right? I'm going to take out t plus p plus 3f is equal to 50. Now, we know that t is equal to f plus 3. So that's what goes there, f plus 3, right? And now we distribute. We say 6 times f and 6 times 3, right? So that'll give us 6 times f is 6f. 6 times 3 is positive 18. And I bring down everything else. Okay? So how many f's do we have? We have 6f here. Well, first of all, I'll draw my line of separation here. Well, I have 6f and 3f. That gives us 9f, right? So we have 9f. And then this 18 is got to come over, and it's going to come over as minus 18. So I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to say minus 18, just like this. So this came from those two. And I have plus p still. So 50 minus 18 is 32. So what I have here is 9f plus p is equal to 32. This is our first square equation, right? All right. So that was our first equation. We substituted f plus 3 into our first equation. Now let's take our second equation and also leave t as a parenthesis. So step 2, okay? Step 2, we're going to leave t as a parenthesis and then copy the rest of it. Plus p plus f is equal to 14. So we left t as a parenthesis because f plus 3 is going to go right in there for t, right? So f plus 3. So in this situation, there's no number, right? In the first one, there was a number outside here. So that's why we distributed here, right? 6 times f. But here, there's no number here. Well, technically, it's an invisible 1, right? But when something multiplies by 1, it stays the same. So f plus 3 plus p plus f is equal to 14, right? So let's combine our f's. F plus f is equal to, line of separation, 2f, right? Next is 3. Well, 3 needs to move over and become minus 3, right? And I still have p. 14 minus 3 is 11, so I am left with 2f plus p is equal to 11, right? Those are our two boxes, right? So step 3, we are going to take our two boxes and we're going to put them together. So 9f plus p is equal to 32. 2f plus p is equal to 11. So my question is, can anything, right, anything eliminate? Now these two almost eliminate, but if we only need one of them to be negative, though, is what we need. We need one of them to be negative. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top by -1. Now I multiply by -1 because I just need it to be not minus p, right? If this was 4p here, positive 4p, then I would have to multiply by -4, right? If this was 5p here, then I would have to multiply by -5 to make it -5p, right? So when we distribute, right, we get -9f minus p is equal to -32. And I bring down my second equation exactly as it already is. So -9p plus 2 is -7f, I'm sorry. Right? Well, I forgot that these canceled, so no more p. And -32 plus 11 is -21. -7 times what is -21? Well, the answer is f is 3, right? But in case you forgot, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. -21 divided by -7 is 3, right? And there's our f. We have our first variable here, right? Which is field goals, okay? Step 4. Okay, step 4 is we're going to take our f and we're going to plug it into this actually. Look, t is already by itself. All I need to do is plug in f here, right? So t is equal to f plus 3. Well, f is 3, right? 3 is going to go in there. So that's going to be 3 plus 3. So that's going to be t is equal to 6. Look at that. So I know how many field goals and I know how many touchdowns. And step 5, right? We need to know how many point after touchdowns, right? So we're going to take our simplest of the two top equations, which is this one, t plus p plus f. So t, which I already have, 6, plus p, point after I don't have, plus f, which I already have actually, so I'm going to leave it in parentheses, is equal to 14. So t was 6, right? F was 3, right? And we are going to solve here. So 6 plus 3 is 9. Well, I didn't immediately have to move this 9 over as minus 9, right? And I get P is equal to 5. Right? And now, since this was a word problem, we need a word answer. So the question is, how many types of each type of field goal did they have? So you say the RCHS football team scored 3 field goals, comma, 6 touchdowns, and 5 PATs, point after touchdowns. There you go. Look at that. Okay. That would be an example. That would be the solution to this first example. Okay. So again, read your problem carefully, identify what you need, and put everything in order, right? So let us take a look here at our second example. So it says the Hollywood Bowl charges $75. So for section or seats in section A. Okay. $55 for seats in section B. So far we're dealing with money. And $30 for lawn seats. Okay. So we're dealing with money here. There are 3 times as many seats in section B as in section A. Okay, that's important. Actually, that's a different color because, well, that doesn't have to do with money. So let's highlight this in green here. Okay, but let's go back to the blue. Let's see. The revenue for selling all 23,000 seats is $870,000. This is what I need. This has to deal with money. Okay. How many seats are in each section of the Hollywood Bowl? Okay. So let's do the blue here. So $75 for section A. So we can say 75A. $55 for section B. $55 for section B. Plus $30 for section L. $30 for section L, and they made a total of $870,000. Perfect. Now, the Hollywood Bowl, how many people does it seat? Well, it seats 23,000 people, right? Well, how many sections does the Hollywood Bowl have? Well, there's a section A, there's a section B, and there are lawn seats, right? So there's the sections. So section A plus section B plus the lawn seats is equal to 23,000. Right? Now the green, right? There are 3 times as many seats in section B as section A. Now pay attention. Where are there more seats? There are 3 times as many seats in section B as in section A. So B is more, so B goes first. 3 times section A, right? There you go. Look at that. Okay. So this is the equation that we're going to use. We're going to plug in 3a everywhere that we see b. Look at that, right? So let us copy our first equation, and we're going to replace b with 3a, right? So step 1, right? So we're going to copy 75a plus 55 parentheses plus 30L is equal to 870,000. Well, B is 3A, so that's what goes in there. 3A. Right? Let me add a different color to it. 3A. Right? So when we multiply 55 times 3A, we get 165A. Well, I still have this 75A here, and these two will give us 240A. And I still have 30L, right? And I still have 870,000 on this side. So when we have our equation, 240A plus 30L is equal to 870,000, right? So that's our first square equation. Okay, so step 2. All right, step 2 is we're going to take the second equation now, and we're going to replace b on that one, replace it with 3a. So we're going to say a plus b plus L is equal to 23,000. And that is, so what goes in there is 3a, right? So we say 3a. Oops, in red, 3a. So we're going to combine a plus 3a is 4a. And L comes down and 23,000 comes down. So our second equation is 4a plus L is equal to 23,000. Right? That's our second equation. So step 3. Right? Step 3 is we're going to take our two box equations, right? And we're going to put them together. So we say 240A plus 30L is equal to 870,000. And then our second is 4A plus L is equal to 23,000. That's a terrible 3. 23,000. Right? So again, these two, I'm going to eliminate these two here. Now I can multiply this by 60, negative 60, to make it negative 240A. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can. No, I'm going to multiply this by negative 30 to cancel with positive 30. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 30. Okay. So when we multiply here, well, the top equation hasn't changed. 240A plus 30L equals to 870,000. The bottom, when I distribute negative 30, I get negative 120A minus 30L is equal to negative 690,000. Okay? So what cancels here is our else. 240A minus 120A is 120A. 870,000 minus 690,000 is equal to 180,000. Right? And if we, so to solve for A here, we're going to divide by 120, right? And we're going to get A is equal to, right, 180,000 divided by 120 is equal to 1,500, right? 1,500, look at that. So that's how many seats are in section A. 1,500 seats are in section A. Okay. All right, let us go to, look, I think I made this, wrote too big, so let me write a little smaller here, okay? So let us go to step 4. Oops. So let us go to step 4. Step 4 here, right? Okay, so step 4, I'm going to plug in A somewhere. Well, look at this. If I plug it in there, I'll get B. So B is equal to 3A. B is equal to 3A. Well, I already have A. A is 1,500. That's what goes in there. 1,500, right? So 3 times 1,500, B is equal to 4,500 or 4,500, right? Look at that. So I know how many seats are in section A. I know how many seats are in section B. So how many seats are in section C? Or lawn, excuse me, lawn. So step 5, right? We're going to take the easiest of the two equations of these two, and that's obvious, this one, right? So I'm going to say A, which is parentheses because I already have, plus B, which is parentheses because I already have, plus lawn, I don't know what that is yet, is equal to 23,000. Right? Well, A is 1,500 seats, 1,500 seats. B is 4,500 seats. Okay, so I draw my line of separation here. 1,500 plus 4,500 is 6,000. Well, I immediately got to move 6,000 over as minus 6,000. So I get L is equal to 17,000. Right? And like we said, this is a word problem, so it requires a word solution. So let's check out our question here. How many seats are in each section of the Hollywood Bowl? Okay. There are 1,500 seats in section A, 4,500 seats, 4,500 seats in section B, and 17,000 in section, 45,000 lawn seats, right? Lawn seats at the Hollywood Bowl. There you go. That would be your answer, solution with word statement answer for your word problems. All right, and there you go. So these are the two types of problems you're going to see in your quiz. So make sure that you pause, you stop, and use this video in order for it to help you on the quiz. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. And